The impossible dream. I still remember the day my father laughed. A deep, guttural sound that echoed in the small living room, drowning out my dreams. "A painter? You'll never make a living off that nonsense," he scoffed, eyes glinting with disbelief. My mother chimed in, shaking her head. "You should focus on something realistic, not this foolishness." Their laughter stung, but it was the dismissive way they rolled their eyes that cut the deepest. I felt like a ghost in my own home, invisible and dismissed. That day, I made a promise to myself. I would chase my impossible dream no matter the cost. The breaking point came as I stood in my room, surrounded by canvases yet to be painted, vowing that I would not let their mockery define my path. The years that followed were a relentless grind. I slept on friends' couches, my only possessions crammed into a tattered backpack. Ramen noodles became my best friend, a meal I'd eat for days on end, while I juggled 3 jobs to make ends meet. I faced rejection after rejection, from art galleries that turned me away to countless job applications that went unanswered. At times, doubt whispered insidiously in my ear, telling me I was chasing a ghost. I almost gave up when a gallery I had poured my heart into rejected my entry with a curt, "Your work isn't what we're looking for." But in those darkest moments, I found solace in the small victories. A stranger complimented my painting in a cafe, and a supportive mentor recognized my potential. Their belief reminded me why I started this journey in the first place, because art was the language I spoke best. And then it happened. My breakthrough moment arrived on a rainy afternoon when an email pinged in my inbox. An art collector wanted to showcase my work at a prominent gallery in the city. I stared at the screen, disbelief washing over me, before I let out a breathless laugh. My first exhibition opened to a packed room, and I watched strangers admire my pieces, their eyes lighting up with understanding. Success was no longer just a dream. It was my reality. My paintings sold out, and I could finally afford to replace the worn-out backpack I had carried for years. Years later, I found myself back home for the holidays, the warmth of the familiar engulfing me. I hesitated before stepping into the room filled with family, my heart pounding. As I shared stories, I noticed my father's gaze lingering on a magazine cover resting on the coffee table. It featured my artwork, alongside an interview about my journey. The room fell silent, the laughter fading as he stared, mouth agape, disbelief etched on his face. My mother's eyes misted over as she caught a glimpse of my success, her expression shifting from skepticism to awe. In that moment, I felt a bittersweet swell of emotions, pride, sadness, and a flicker of forgiveness. They had missed the journey, but now they were seeing the destination. I realized then that their earlier words no longer held power over me. I had transformed through my struggles, and while my family may never fully understand, I had found the strength to forgive. I was no longer the invisible child craving validation. I was an artist who had carved my own path, and that was enough.